Hey, what's up, people? It's Tim, Time is Money, from the Digital Urban Intelligence Agency, and today we're here to talk about crowdfunding. For those of you who don't know what crowdfunding is, let me explain it out to you. Crowdfunding is basically raising money from fans or customers in order to release a project, do a tour, complete artwork, record the album, record a single, whatever you're trying to do. That's what crowdfunding is. Basically, you set up a page and use this the third-party platform to get funding where people can basically pre-order your project or whatever your idea that you have going on. Crowdfunding originally started out as a platform for businesses or inventors, people who invented products, to be able to get funding for that product based on a prototype. Okay, I'm assuming that most of you guys who are watching this are musicians, artists, labels, managers, etc. So you're basically in a creative art form of music. And basically the reason why I'm here and talking to you right now is because me and my team successfully crowdfunded a campaign for Razzcast back in 2010. We were the first hip-hop group on Kickstarter, which is a third-party crowdfunding campaign. We were one of the first artists, hip-hop artists, to fund a campaign through there, and it was successful. And actually ran into the founder of Kickstarter, and told him, oh yeah, we worked this artist Razzcast, we use your service. He's like, yo, I know that, I saw that, you guys killed it, because we killed it within the first 3 days. We had reached our goal, whatever. So today I'm here to talk to you about how we achieved that. Okay, so now that we have a clear understanding of what crowdfunding is, basically you're getting fans or potential fans to give you money in order to deliver them the product, the music, the album, t-shirt, the tour, whatever you're trying to do. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, there are three, basically more than three, I'd say just like 7 platforms for crowdfunding. And the reason why I say 3, when I said 3, is basically there's only really like 3 that are really good for musicians and artists. And they're third-party platforms, meaning that you don't actually own them. They're like a service that you can go through. And the number one, the founding one that kind of started it all, kicked it all off, which is Kickstarter. It's called Kickstarter. It's Kickstarter.com. That's one of them. The other one is Indiegogo. That one is pretty well. And each one of these platforms has different strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so I'm going to break it down for you right now. Kickstarter. Kickstarter has brand recognition, reach. A lot of people use it. Those are the pros. The cons of Kickstarter are that they go through their payment system is Amazon payments, like it goes through there, and basically you have to wait 30 days after the campaign is done in order to receive your funds. And then they have a limit on the campaigns too, like it's 30 day, 60. I think 60 might be the maximum. They may have changed it, but 60, last time 60 was the maximum that you could do. And basically you got 60 days to raise the money. And they do that also with the fees too. Like if you do a certain length, the fees are a little bit more. They charge you, since it's going through Amazon, they charge you like 5%. Most of them charge you 5%. But then on top of that, they charge you a credit card processing fee, which most people have to pay through credit cards. So keep that in mind. And so they charge you a credit card fee, and then you got to wait 30 days for the money to clear and everything like that. And then they have an all or nothing. This is very important. All or nothing. That means that you either make it or you don't. The money only comes out of the people's account when you make it. So if your fans give you money and your goal is $2,000 and they put in $15,000, if you don't reach $2,000, you don't get any money. You don't get anything. So you have to reach your goal with Kickstarter in order to get the money. Next up is Indiegogo. Indiegogo came in and took over from, not took over, but you know, they threw their hat in the game for the crowdfunding. Basically with Indiegogo is you can set it to where it's like an all or nothing if you want to campaign, which they charge a little higher fee for that. I mean, no, they charge a lower fee. Sorry about that. They charge a lower fee for that. Then you can do the variable campaign. Basically, if you don't reach the goal, you still get the money, but they charge a higher fee for that. You know, like I said, they usually start out with 5%, but if you decide, hey, you know what, I don't care, I'm trying to reach for $2,000. If I raise $1,500, I still can use that money to make stuff happen with. They will give you that $1,500 that you raised, but they'll take a higher percentage off of it, like 10 or 15% they'll take off. And so the next one is, and with Indiegogo, you can run the various lengths of the campaigns. And again, I think that the highest length is like 90 days, you know. But you can check with each one of these sites and see, because each one of them is variable in the length of the campaign and the percentage that they charge off the campaign. So with that being said, always look at that. Those are factors that you look for: is the fees that they charge and the time that they allow you to raise the money and run your campaign. So next up after Indiegogo is Rocket Hub. Rocket Hub is pretty good. It's a cross between business and like creative, because some of the campaigns on Rocket Hub are really, you know, they'll be business focused or inventor focused, but yet still it's pretty good for musicians. Again, they don't go through Amazon for their payment. They go through like PayPal. They have a process, and you can get the money through PayPal, or you can set up direct, like a deposit with the bank account. And usually when you set up a deposit with the bank account, though, it takes longer for the money to get into the account. It's, you know, 5 to 7 days. With PayPal, it's usually 1 to 2 days. You know, it could take 3, but it's not too long with PayPal. The only one of the crowdfunding things that don't use PayPal is Kickstarter. You know, they're locked in with Amazon, so that's their payment gateway is Amazon. Rocket Hub, like I said, is pretty good. The next one is Pledge Music. Now, Pledge Music is pretty good because it's based for musicians. You know, it's based on music. It started out as a crowdfunding platform for musicians and small independent labels. So when people go to that, or people that are, you know, associated with that, understand what it is, those are people who support music and like music. So Pledge Music is pretty good. And the next one is called Artist Share. With Artist Share, again, it's another one that's based on music, and it's pretty good. Again, you know, they charge the fees just like everyone else, and you can offer up packages. to say like, you know, hey, if you support with $1, you get a free download. You know, you could say like, just to make it a little bit different, you say, hey, this free download is an album for $1, not 99 cents per single. Maybe that might be your free download thing. And then you can build up the tiers of your rewards to say like, you know, for $5 you get the download and a sticker or whatever it may be. The next one is kind of dope, and I'm going to use this probably this summer for a couple of clients, because I've been booking tour dates and stuff here and there, just basically reaching out to promoters and trying to go through that, and it's been crazy. But the next one is called Road Nation, which is basically kind of unique. It's funny because it's an idea that I had 20 years ago called hiphopgigs.com, which I met with some investors and stuff. Basically what it was you could book artists online. And this is way back like 20 years ago, like I said. I came with this idea. But roadnation.com is basically crowdfunding for touring. What you could do is you could put cities and locations that you want to go, and people can commit to like, yo, if you come to my city, you know, I will pay $15 for this show. And so they kind of reserve their ticket for the show. And you can set your goal of like 300, but I need $300 to go there, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And when you reach that goal of $300, you can set up a show in that market, basically. So the Tour Nation, not Tour Nation, Road Nation is a touring platform, and it's kind of like I said, it's kind of cool that you can set up and you can know that, hey man, I'm gonna sell, you know, I got 100 fans in this market, and if I go to this market, I'm gonna make $1,500, whatever it may be, $1,500. And it's basically, and the thing is, people can support tours. You can set up a tour, and then people can go through there and support the tour. Okay, now the next thing that we got to go through that we want to talk about is the factors that determine a great crowdfunding campaign. Okay, things you need to look for are fees. What are the total fees that it's going to cost you to run this campaign? There's a few crowdfunding things out there that have like a setup fee, which kind of sucks. Most of them are free to set up because you only get money. They get their money from a percentage of what you raise. So when they have the upfront fee, it's kind of whack because you're paying, you know, $35 up front, and if you don't reach your goal or whatever it may be, then it's like you know. So it's better to go with either Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Rocket Hub, Pledge Music, Artist Share, and Road Nation, because they don't have a setup fee. They just basically get the money. After you make the money, they take their percentage. Okay, so the fees is very important to figure that out when you're looking at it. Next thing is time and duration. See what the time and duration that they allow you to set up your campaigns. You know, because if your campaign runs too quickly, where people don't have time to really decide if they want to support you, then your campaign you could just be barely right there ready to make it, and then the time cuts off and people can't donate anymore, and then you don't get any money. If you set it up through Kickstarter, or if you set up with like Indiegogo, all or nothing. If you set up to where, hey, if I only raise half of it, I'm willing to pay 18% to get that half. So times. Then the next one is rewards. You know, Kickstarter has like where you can set up like, you know, tiers of your rewards, and this is very important to set up tiers like, you know, okay, for $1 you get this, for $5 you get this, $20 or more, you get this, you know, and you can set them up differently. One of the things, like if you're doing music, one thing that I think works really well, it can work really well and give you like some publicity and just make people think about it, is you could set up a package where it's an executive producer package. I started on a couple campaigns like that, and the artist ended up, matter of fact, the group ended up breaking up before the campaign even launched. But I set up an executive producer package for them, which was kind of dope, where the person gets their name on the project as the executive producer. Any interviews that they did about the project, they would always mention the person's name as an executive producer. That was part of the package. And also, we looked into making a presentation plaque, like a gold record plaque or platinum plaque or whatever, of the person saying executive producer of da project, you know. And I think we set that up for like $2,500. And if you pay $2,500, you would get executive producer credits on everything, as far as being listed as an executive producer on the project. And that was dope. And then also you can set up packages that say like a lifetime fan package. If they put up $1,000, that they get to meet you, have a meet and greet with you in their particular city. Anytime you come to their particular city, they get a meet and greet with you, like basically, hey man, you know. Or they get, your album for free for the rest of your career. They get whatever project you release for free. And basically what you would have to do is just send them, you can do it yourself, like, hey, here's my album. Every time you record an album, you just email them the MP3 file, and boom, you're done. If they give you $1,000, there's packages, like I said. So the rewards is something you keep in mind. And then next is tools and promotion for that. What tools do they allow you to use to promote your campaign? That's very important. Like, is there Facebook integration? Is there Twitter Instagram integration? Can you place it on your website where people can go to your website and then see it and decide to click that they want to download? Those things are very important. If you could share. And then also, can you send out emails to people for them to, update, the project, where you can say, okay, this is what we got going on right now. There's only 5 days left. You can send out an email and everyone gets that email. So the marketing tools are very important, that, you're able to reach out to people. Not that it's just all incoming, where they have to find your page, they have to find your campaign, and that's how they find out about it. You want to be able to reach out to people and let them know. And next is, with your campaign, is your goals. Once you've done all the factors like the fees, the time, duration, and the rewards, and the marketing tools, once you decide, okay, I'm going to go with Rocket Hub, and that's what I'm going to go with. Now you have to set what's your goal? What's your campaign goal? Then you have to figure out, hey, how many actual backers do I have? And when I say actual backers, like, you have to go with people that you know that will give you $20, for a CD, or a download and a CD, or a download and a t-shirt for $20. So you have to go with your rewards, figure out that. That's very important. And you got to have different levels of involvement. You got to have the level for the cheap person. It's like, yo, man, I'm cheap, I don't really want to pay nothing. Hey, it's $1, man. You get a free download. Here you go. And there's some people that's like, yo, I really like him. I want him to succeed, and I'm willing to give him $300. You got to have a package for them too. You know, but you can't go from 0 to 1,000. You need to have something in between for the people who are like, okay, I like them, cool, I want to support, but I'm not giving them $300. You got to be like somebody who say, oh, I'll give them $50. I think that'll help. So make sure your package, you know, your goal is reasonable. To say, I want, you know, you might want to raise $2,000 to put out your project. And that's reasonable because statistics show that between the $500 and $10,000 range, they have a 60% success rate. You know, if you try and raise $1 million, you know, that's hard, you know, to raise $1 million. But if you just say, hey, you know, I just want to raise $2,000, you know, and you know that you have a good significant amount of fans, that means everybody can give you like $20. You know, if you got, you know, 2,000 fans, they give you $20. You good. So that's what it is. Make sure that your goal is reasonable. Don't set any outlandish goals. And then you got to know who your backers are. You got to say, you know, don't be afraid. How we won with the Razzcast campaign is before that we did a campaign on Bandcamp where they could name their price, and we did a quarterly. It's called the quarterly. Every quarter we released a mixtape of Razzcast, like, you know, just freestyles, all the stuff that he was doing, songs, whatever that he was willing to give away. But what we did is we gave them away, but we collected email addresses with that. And it was based on the name your price, so they could say, hey, you know, I don't want to pay anything. But they had to put in their email address. Each one of them had to put in their email address. And so we got those email addresses. We knew that those people were fans of Razzcast. They were willing to support him. So we knew our backers as soon as we started the campaign. We already knew who they were. And so with you'd have to find your first, you know, I would say anybody starting out, you got to find 150 to 200 people that you and your crew and your producer, your manager, record label, whoever they are, find 150 to 200 people that you all know that will give you $10 and get their email. So find your initial backers, you know, find them. Once you find them, you know, communicate directly with them through an email and say, hey man, I'm doing this project, dude. Do you think it'd be cool if you know, you shot me $15? And they say, yeah, I would, sure. Then you send them the link, and when you do that, make sure you communicate with them maybe 3-4 days before you start the campaign, and so that they don't forget about it. And then right when you start the campaign, like, you know, the 3 days later, 4 days later, when you start the campaign, shoot them an email like, here you go, dude, donate that $15 you said you were going to do. And the reason why I said that is because it's very important that people go to your page and see that you have donators, that you have donated people who are donating to you. Because if people go to your page and they don't see nothing, they go back 2 days later and they don't see anything, then they're like, hey, ain't nobody believing in this dude. I don't want to be part of a losing campaign. So then they don't do it. So it's very important that you get your day one backers, the people who say that they will, you know, your mom, your auntie, your co-workers, whoever. Just be like, yo, man, come on, man, donate $5. It's all good. And then if you, like I said, if you want to get $1,500 raised, and within the first day you raise $300, you probably reach that goal. But if it's like 5 days and you have like $1, then you didn't reach out to the backers. You didn't have any backers. You didn't reach out. So it's very important to know your backers and have a way to reach out to them. And then again, we go back to the rewards. Your rewards have to be enticing to your backers. They have to be getting something. This crowdfunding is not all about just give me money, hey, because I want to get a new Bentley. You know, that's not going to work. It's got to be this is what it's for. This is what you benefit from it. This is what I benefit from it. This is what we all benefit from. You know, with the Razzcast thing that we did a campaign called Save the Razzcast. We were having a discussion about lyricists and how, you know, in hip hop, you know, lyricism is gone and it's going down the drain. So then we made a campaign. We know that people who listen to Razzcast, they really like lyrics, they really like hip hop, they really like metaphors and punchlines, stuff like that, and they're really hip hop heads. So, you know, we had to save the Razzcast, like the endangered lyricists, because lyricists nowadays are endangered. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be distinct in a few years, you know, with the rap skills going down, down, and down. So this right here, like I said, this was 2010 where we predicted this. So we leveraged that to our backers, because we knew our backers would be like, yeah, you know, all these whack lyricists out here, we need to save somebody who's really dope and really promote them. So you need to find out what your fans are really about, what they really want. And once you do that, you know who your backers are. You know, if they're real political and you're a political group, if you're really like, you know, anti-police, corruption and abuse, then let that be known, because then those people who feel that same way will back you. So that's what's up with that. And then you got to figure out how am I going to promote this? How am I going to go to market? How am I going to get this going? You know, don't just rely on Facebook. Like I said, the main thing, the reason why we won with the Razzcast campaign was because we had the emails. We had a warm audience. Like they were already warm to it. They already knew what was up. They already supported him. They already gave him a little small donation, you know. And we knew that it would work with the Razzcast thing, because some people paid $50 for the mixtape. And we didn't ask them to. They could have paid $0, but they paid $50. And when they did, we hit them back like, yo, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. We hadn't even started the Kickstarter campaign. That was all on Bandcamp. So we knew that they would give, you know, like at least another 25 to the Kickstarter campaign. So find your audience, give them something for free in order to get their email, you know, or to get them interested in part of the movement. Then you give them an option of, hey, $1, $5, $15, $20, $25, $50, you know, $100, $500. You give them options to where, you know, they can have a various entry level. So with the rewards, you always want to have options. And then how are you going to go to market? Figure that out. Like if it's going to be, you know, you're going to buy Facebook ads, Twitter ads, whatever. So the biggest thing with a crowdfunding campaign is you have to, you know, build that crowd to fund your campaign. And then you have to think of the funding. What is the funding for? You got to let them know what the funding is for. And when I say the funding, like, don't do it just, oh, I just need money, because then that's not going to work. You got to be like, this is what you guys are supporting, and this is what you're getting. You know, be very clear on that. This is what you're supporting, and this is what you're getting. It's a give and take. And don't set your goals too high. You know, don't set your goals too high, but don't set them too low either, where you can't deliver your product. You got to research your product. If you're doing t-shirts, you got to research, how much am I going to get these t-shirts made for? Okay, you're getting them made for $7 a shirt. So if you sell them for $15, if you put the campaign to say $15 to get you $15 and above gets you a free t-shirt, then you're good. Then you could say, you know, $20 or more gets you a free t-shirt and a download. The download's not necessarily cost you any money, because once you put it up there to go, there's no manufacturing or anything like that. So it's like an added bonus, but it's not really. But you don't want to say $15 gets you a t-shirt and a piece of vinyl, like a record. Because if it costs you $7 to do the vinyl, and it costs you $7 to do the t-shirt, that's $14 right there. And if you're saying it's $15, if you $15 or more, you get the t-shirt and the vinyl, you're gonna lose money because of the shipping. You gotta remember that. And speaking of that, when you do the shipping and when you do your campaigns, sometimes make it clear that this is only available to U.S. residents only. And make that clear. It's to U.S. residents only, because shipping international can kill you. So if you're shipping out T-shirts, like you can make the downloads available internationally. You could do that. But any physical product, unless you want to make a separate package for international, which you add like another $15 to everything for international as far as shipping goes, because at least $15, $20, $30, because it can get crazy with the shipping. So like I said, if you want to have a successful campaign, keep it domestic, keep it to the U.S. And once you have the campaign going and everything's going, and you've made, you hit your goal and you're able to reach out internationally, then do that. But like I said, to have a successful campaign in the beginning and start it out, I would say stay domestically. And so with that, like I said, figure out your audience, and then keep in mind the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule basically means that 80% of your success comes from 20% of your active fans. So that means you got to do a lot of work to, you got to have 5 times, 10 times as many people as you like. You got to hit that many people if you want to get 20% of those people, because a lot of people just ignore stuff. So keep the 80-20 rule in mind, meaning, like out of 100 people, only 20 people out of that 100 are actually going to engage and do anything, take any type of action. So keep that in mind. Then also when you're setting up your campaign, to me, it normally takes about 4 to 6 months to set up a proper crowdfunding campaign. 4 to 6 months of being prepared, getting everything ready. That means start collecting up emails slowly but surely, like at your shows, or when you're out, you're going to a Talib Kweli show. Take a notepad with you, or an iPad or a tablet. Take that with you. Hey man, hey, what's up, dude? Can I get your email? I'm gonna send you a free song. Start collecting up those emails 4 to 6 months before you run your campaign, because you'll have a successful campaign. If you got 1,000, 2,000 emails, you should have a pretty successful campaign. And if you're reaching out to the right people, you don't want to go to rock shows or punk rock shows or EDM show, and you're trying to build a hip hop campaign. But if you go to hip hop shows, or you go to hip hop Facebook groups or whatever it may be, and boom, you ask them for the emails, and once you get that email, then you're able to send them information about the campaign, ask them to follow you on Facebook, ask them to follow you on Twitter, ask them to follow you on Instagram, and then you can communicate with them, back and forth. So, like I said, the main thing is your timing for your crowdfunding campaign, timing, fees. How long campaign runs for, then what are you going to be charged for it, how are you going to get your money, and then your packages. Research your packages, figure out how much it's going to cost. If you're going to print up posters and give away an autographed poster, figure out how much the poster is going to cost. the shipping tubes, to if you're gonna fold it, like where it's flat poster, or if you're gonna ship it in a tube, how much does the tube cost? How much does it cost to ship the tube? Think those things out and research that. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a successful crowdfunding campaign. You can find out more about my company at DUIagency.com. DUIagency.com, and DUI stands for Digital Urban Intelligence. Alright? Thanks. Peace.